middle. Andre Russell. Strike rate, interesting, just under 130. When you think of him at the moment, you think so much bigger than that.
Well, this is going to be a brilliant battle. Andre Russell, Shahid Afridi.
There won't be pace, that's for sure. Not surprising, that's given not-out smiles all round. Played in such good spirits.
At the top of the game, Dre Russ came into the pod for a chat, spoke about the fact that it's just nice to be in West Indies colours once again. 2 years since the last time.
There's another shout. A little bit of contemplation there, but yet again declined.
At the top of the game, Dre Russ came into the pod for a chat.
He's not 100%. Still getting the ball in areas to ask good questions. Pace off once again. But Russell finally gets off the mark.
Using the slope as well. The leg spinners have been using the gradient of the slope, but going against it. Making sure they get their lines right.
Stuart Law in the West Indies, what do you think they'll be looking at target-wise?
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a brilliant over so far. Just one from it, one to come. Ramdin needs a boundary here.
Well, Ishigua, he must have heard you. Once again, they've finished the over with a 6. Back-to-back overs, finishing on 6s. 2 overs to go, 165 for 4.
Yeah, when the pressure's been on, he's been able to deliver. Dinesh Ramdin smoked it away to the grandstand. How did Nasser see it?
Nasser's going to have a sore neck, I think, tomorrow. He's seen a lot sail right over his lid today. Rashid Khan coming in for the 19th over and his last. 2 for 24 of his 3 so far. Andre Russell faced 3 deliveries before he got off the mark with a single. Well, don't worry about dots or singles anymore because that has gone a country mile.
He is an entertainer. We love watching him bat. Andre Russell, what a strike. Yeah, the googly picks it down the slope as well. Lovely connection.
Let's find out where Nasser Hussain is. Did you get a good view of that, Nas?
Yeah, I did. I'm here with Shahid Afridi. Shahid, they gave you a guard of honour, your last international game. Are you emotional?
Oh, yeah, obviously. I think I want to thank ICC for that and MCC. I think it's a big honor for me. It's the last international game and in home of cricket. So obviously it's a memory which I can never forget.
No more comebacks?
No, that's it. You see my situation with the injury?
The body looked like it was hurting.
No, from last 2, I'm in the ground after 2 months. After PSL, I didn't play any cricket. So this is my first day to hold the ball.
And you have to concentrate because Andre Russell's at the crease.
Yeah, I know. Thanks God my over is finished.
One more game, 100 T20 internationals as he sits on 99.
I love that. Thank God my overs are finished. Taking responsibility, the captain. What a brilliant player that he's been for cricket in general. He keeps making comebacks. Saw him score 100 to get his side to finals day, Hampshire, opening the batting.
Got full toss and it got what it deserved. Big start to this second last over, 6-1-4.
You don't see that very often with Rashid Khan not landing it. Freebie for Ramdin to tuck into.
It's a rare sight. Not that. That's Sir Viv Richards.
Oh, I'd love to see him play 2020 cricket. Talked about Shahid Afridi being the Benjamin Button of cricket. Seems to get younger at the age of 38, but Viv Richards, he is looking good.
Yeah, I'd like to know his secret. Oh, straight down the ground. Trey Russ down on one knee. Straight into the pavilion.
And the key for him is to go on. Menzak, Kyron Pollard hitting the roof here at Lords. Can Dre Rouse hit one out of the ground?
Slightly concerned whether or not a gentleman in the pavilion got hit on the head. Well, I hope that guy gets out of the way because this is back-to-back sixes. Huge, yeah, why not wink? It's the Chris Lynn wink. It's 189 for 4.
Yeah, he's hit this one even harder. Right out of the meat of the bat. Follow through. Where's that ended up? I think he might have been hit on the head. I don't think it was that ball. I think it might have been the one before, or was it that one? In any case, you've got to watch out when you're in the crowd. Nessa, where are you?
I'm right in the middle with the 2 not-out batsmen. Dinesh, is it just a case of hand it over to the big hits?
Give it to the big guy. He's going to do the rest.
And you're just going to try and hit every ball out of the ground?
Yeah, it's clear and sail. You know, everything has to go.
Everything has to go. Leg side towards that short boundary?
Well, straight everywhere. Open mind.
Come on, let's clear the glance.
He's in better form than me now, so...
You're not hitting it very well, are you?
Yeah, not really.
Go.
Not hitting it well. It's gone to the top tier of the pavilion. He's hitting them well. What's the next postcode here, Ish? You're a local?
Yeah, I think he's heading on down to Hammersmith.
Right, Mitch McClenaghan from the media end. Deep in the crease goes Ramsden, gets a big bit of it. It's going to clear third and race away.
Simon Doyle trying to field it on the boundary. Nearly fell out of the pod. Yeah, just the width on offer there. Too much when you've got a third man up. It's a free hit for the right-hander. Even if he doesn't time it.
Yeah, McClenaghan will know that Ramsden will try and stay deep in his crease. So he needs, number one, to get his length right. The order's going to remain the same. 5 deliveries to work with here, the Windies. 7 shy of 200. Oh, goes wide. That is pressure. Ramsden wants to get Dre Russ onto strike.
I'm sort of wondering about his plans here, Mitch McClenaghan. Whether it's a case of not wanting to telegraph it. He's got 3 men out in the deep on the leg side, 2 men back straight, and the deep cover now is coming straighter. Change, because he wants to bowl outside the off stump, so that third man going back quite wide. He wants to hit that wide line.
Straight to the fielder, chance at the hits. They've had their opportunities, the World 11. Yeah, it's a substitute.
They've exceeded the past score here, have the West Indies, aiming for that 200 plus mark.
Has he gone about things?
Yeah, you had a chat to him.
He'll pick up another 2. They'll be more than happy with ones and twos in this last over.
Well, it's been the way to go for the back end of this game, is to just bang it into the pitch and just get those cutters going.
Here we go. Andre Russell on strike, 21 from 19. It is the last delivery of the allotted 20 overs. Mitch McClenaghan steaming in. What can Dre Russ do? It's a good delivery. It's a short one. I don't think he was expecting it, and it's a good finish there for McClenaghan. 10 runs coming from the final over. The West Indies just one shy of 200.
Brilliant effort from Dinesh Ramdin. 44 from his 25. Russell entertained as well. So it's a flat 200 that's required by the rest of the world 11.
That's the last time we'll get to see Shahid Afridi bowling ever again in international cricket. And boy, did he do well. Stands and applauds the crowd because they have been applauding him right throughout this wonderful international career. We may see him with bat in hand. We'll be hoping that he is not required.
Chris Gale and Evan Lewis at the top. Lewis was brilliant with his 58 from 26 deliveries. Marlon Samuels as well, 43 from 22. He got going pretty early into his innings as well. And Dinesh Ramdin finishing things off, 44. A brilliant knock from him. 199 on the board then for the Windies, and a very competitive total.
And for the bowlers, look at that. Jamal Mills, none for 13 off his 3, but unfortunately injured, left the field. Everyone else got quite a little bit of tap, mostly to Evan Lewis and Andre Russell. Rashid Khan picking up 2 for 48, and singles to Shoaib Malik and Shahid Afridi. Not too far to go. We'll be back here very, very shortly. The World 11 need 200 to win.
Windies Cricket on Sky Sports, sponsored by Sandals Resorts.
Success isn't earned these days, it's bought. So to make our app top of the league, we threw a shed load of cash at our IT team. This boffin fulfilled a boyhood ambition of quadrupling his salary when he left his old IT team for ours. Adored and idolized, everybody wants a piece of these guys. Some call them mercenaries. We call them visionaries. Cash really does bring success. Download Paddy Power's fastest and simplest ever app.
This is how your TV looks most of the time. A huge blank screen. Boring, isn't it? And now that you notice it, quite ugly, standing empty in the middle of your room. But now there's a TV that blends into your home. Make your TV almost invisible with ambient mode. The new Samsung QLED TV. See nothing else. Discover QLED for yourself in store.
Estrella Damm presents La Vida Nuestra.
Do you know the only thing you can do when the anchor is stuck? Cut the line.
You have a wonderful life. Dare to live it. Full film at EstrellaDamm.com. To new journeys.
Dad? It's triplets.
That's nothing! I just rented a BMW 5 Series for only £49 from Sixt.
Sixt! Drive smug! Home is where the heart is. Home sweet home. Mi casa es su casa. Yeah. Now, they don't say any of this about work. Why do you think that is? Because home is incredible. Right? My work here is done. Well, it's never done, but I'm going to take a break.
When home really matters. Sofology. Feel at home on a sofa you love. I'm Dan, and I'm his data self. We are inseparable. I'll have the steak, please. Oh, me too. Medium rare. Medium rare. He's what companies see when they're deciding whether to offer me credit. And if I need a loan or a credit card, he'll show me what I can get.
Get to know your data self with Experian and make it work for you.
See, feel, climb, first out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies, go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, push boundaries, break new ground, turn things inside out, go walkabout, get set, go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
Skybox X lets the money do the talking.
If you want to make money, climb aboard.
Right now, my dream's all about deals and dollars.
Do we have a deal?
Come get me.
All in.
He's an icon of the wealth of our age, and he is a fraud.
What have you got to lose?
Drama you can bank on.
Worth it.
Available this May on Skybox Set.
If it looks like this one,
Get ready for carnage!
sounds like this one,
Oops. After you, man. Thanks.
and makes you feel like this one,
Ready to do this? 1, 2, 3!
then it's got to be this one.
I can get used to this.
All the good stuff on Sky One.
Windies Cricket on Sky Sports. Sponsored by Sandals Resorts.
Welcome back to Lords, where the rest of the world will need 200 to beat Windies, and I'll get the thoughts of these three fine people in just a moment on their chances there. Tomorrow, of course, though, it's the second test starting between England and Pakistan at Headingley. There's going to be plenty going on the field for Joe Root and his team. There's plenty for us going on off the field as well.
5 to 8 year olds, the key period of getting kids active, involved, and kind of knowing about the game of cricket.
There's a huge buzz around it. It's really nice to see women who've never picked up a cricket bat before giving cricket a go in an environment that's right for them.
If we've got uncovered talent through these communities, we need to be finding it. The South Asian population is banging on the doors. It's about time we open them.
I always think with disability, it's what you make of it or make excuses for with it, and we've been brought up to just get involved.
It's very much a case of cricket first, and be proud of your disability as well.
The opportunity for kids to play cricket is huge. Cricket's got no boundaries. All you need is a bat and a ball, and away you go. You'd like to catch that. Well, that's out the ground. We need another ball. Look, if we can influence a few kids to play the game that we love by coming down here and bowling a few balls and taking a few catches, that's what it's all about.
Yes, it's the participation test, and that starts tomorrow. Day one will be focusing on All-Stars cricket, which is a fantastic initiative, trying to get the real youngsters and their families and parents involved in their cricket. But we get underway with our coverage at 10 o'clock in the morning. Will Ben Stokes be fit to play? Will he be fit just to play as a batsman, or will he be fit full stop? Will Sam Curran make his test debut? We'll have some of the answers for you at 10 o'clock tomorrow on our cricket channel. Windies have batted first here in this hurricane relief game, and they've batted extremely well. Lewis was brilliant at the top of the order, making 58 from just 26 deliveries, 5 fours, 5 sixes, rammed in 44 not out. Marlon Samuels 43, some enormous sixes from Andre Russell, he was 21 not out, and Shahid Afridi has bowled his last delivery in international cricket. He looked completely fit, but he did bowl nicely, 1 for 34, World 11 will need 200 runs to win at exactly 10s and over. That will be a challenge, Mel.
It certainly will be, particularly because it is a team full of 8 different nations all coming together to try and put together a 200-run chase against a team that has been playing well. They've played in Pakistan, 3 T20s recently, done pretty well there. So it will be a challenge, but one thoroughly looking forward to.
Wonderful little partnership at the end between Ramdin and Dre Russ. I mean, you were leaning out there. I thought you were going to fall out, trying to see where it hit. They were enormous.
Yeah, huge sixes. I mean, that's just the power of the man, isn't it? We know that. We've seen it around the world many times. But what I did like, and one for the smaller fellas, you know, was Evan Lewis and Dinesh Ramdin, two smallest men in that Windies side, top scorers. Just shows you that it's about timing as much as about big brute force and power, but they've got plenty of it. Well, you see some of this hitting, and you know that's why they are such a good 2020 side. Why they've won 2 world championships, I think, Keezy. That's the thing for me. They've got power from 1 through to about 8.
Normally, you've seen a lot of the IPL. I asked Mel when we were on commentary, how important, how valuable is Dre Russ in England?
Oh, in any team, you want, you know, complete cricketers. Bowls, fields like a dream, unbelievably quick across the ground and hits it 100 metres. You know, I mean, every team is searching for one of those. Every IPL franchise, every international side wants a Dre Russ in their team.
You mentioned the finesse, though, of batsmen. Did you see a bit more finesse coming back into IPL with certain batsmen in this latest edition, perhaps than the brute strength that was always at the forte of the front of the previous edition?
Yeah, I think we saw it in 2 different ways as well. Dre Russ's first knock against Chennai Super Kings, he got 80-odd in next to nothing time, but he took his time getting in. So he's finding another way of hitting big. But then we saw, Shubman Gill from the under-19 team. These classical style players also finding their way. Kane Williamson was just simply outstanding. Every time he came, KL Rahul, the list goes on.
And then you get the youngsters, Rishabh Pant. I mean, just basically swings himself out of his boots every time he wants to hit the ball. So you've got 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and I think we talked about it on commentary as well. They want to bring these young kids through. The Asian nations seem much more inclined to do it than any other nation in the world. That 18, 19, 20 year in will give you an opportunity.
Evan Lewis had a bit of power and a bit of finesse as well in that innings today, and it was an important one because Gale was struggling at the other end to start with.
We saw it not Gale like here, but last year it was often Evan Lewis that got off to the flyer, and that took the pressure off Chris Gale. Now Chris Gale didn't find his rhythm today at all, but Evan Lewis, I just love the way he plays. In all those players that you spoke about, not necessarily the biggest blokes, it's like everyone else is just caught up a little bit. He has a lovely flow of the bat, good bat lift, which also helps. The times when you used to just not pick the bat up at all, now the batsman, everyone's picking the bat up high, getting the toe up to the sky. That allows them the power to just clear the rope, even if you're not massive.
And this combination also is with St Kitts and Nevis as well. So these guys have played together, understand that if one's not quite going well enough, that the other person at the other end can sort of make up time.
Well, I was on commentary when Marlon Samuels came out, and I made the stupid observation they might sort of send in Dre Russ or Carlos Brathwaite, and then he promptly hit 2 sixes. I thought Nass was going to cuddle him, actually. They're such big buddies, aren't they? But it's bizarre because sometimes you can watch Marlon in these games and he can sort of keep his foot on the hose, and then other times he does that.
So it's such great timing and power, Marlon Samuels, that you wonder at times why he doesn't play a little freer. And you do. You see him get bogged down every now and then. But we also talked about Awardy and the fact that he has won 2 Man of the Match awards in those 2 2020 World Cups that the Windies have won. And to me, that means he's a big-time player, a big-stage player.
Freedy's last bowl in international cricket. I think his body's ready. Did you get that impressive when you were listening to
I just think he's played 99 T20 internationals. One more.
Do you not think he might have got a few more poles if he'd have bowled that little bit slower?
Well, it was interesting. I mean, you were saying that, weren't you? Because he used to rattle through him, and this was the start of the day. They gave him a guard of honour. He looked a little embarrassed, actually. He didn't want to walk through it. When I first saw him run up, I thought he's not going to get to the crease, and then he bowled that one. But you're right, because he's always just blitzed it through, hasn't he?
A little bit more spin, a bit more car. Who knows? Not so much a test cricket, stuff like that pace might have been successful.
Well, we'll never know because that's his last bowl in international cricket, that's for sure. But it's going to be a challenge for the rest of the world. It is 200 runs at obviously 10 and over to try and win this hurricane relief game. Remember, it's a full T20 international, but a lot of funds are trying to be raised to help the people of the Caribbean recover after those 2 awful hurricanes of Irma and Maria. So if you want to help, go to skysports.tv/hurricane, and you can go there and help out by making a small donation. Tamim Iqbal, he can certainly put back to ball. What's Carlos Brathwaite and his team got for us? Will the world champions defend this 199 for 4? Rob Key is with Simon Dahl.
Spin to start with. Tamim Iqbal. Luke Ronke is out in the middle with Tamim Iqbal. Samuel Badri so used to bowling with this brand new ball. Don't expect it to turn too much. He bowls wicket to wicket, very skiddy, straight, doesn't get a lot of bounce. Iqbal will be better off looking to play him straight, maybe a little bit offside, rather than looking to turn him away with any little amount of turn into that onside. Luke Ronke's come off a very good Pakistan Super League in the UAE. Can't get it through. Key alongside me, 200, tall order.
Very, very tall order. Good side as well, this Windies team. I mean, there he is, Carlos Brathwaite. Badri, generally you see him in this role. Where is Pauline Fowler in his cardigan? He must be wandering around somewhere. Seen him, I think he's having a little bit of a break, our roving reporter. Hiding somewhere.
For a sit down and a cup of tea. Luke Ronke, look at that strike rate. Average just a little under 19, but a strike rate best of only 51 against the West Indies. That was for New Zealand. Played 4 internationals for Australia, where he moved across to New Zealand. Was born in New Zealand, of course, and Danny Burke. A lot of time in Perth. Close. Oh, no reviews. Clipping leg stump, Rob.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. That looked bang in front, really. That's exactly what Badri does. He bowls it quick, he bowls it straight, whether there's an inside nick. No, that looks more than clipping.
Well, we'll find out in a moment, but yeah, I would have thought could have easily put the finger up. Ronke gets away with it. You get a freebie in a game like this, don't you?
Can't be our first ball in any cricket, can you? I know my kids all the time.
You've got to hit him straight. You've got to look straight for Badri. He's got 33 wickets in the power play in international cricket. What about this? Would this have been... Oh, yeah. Oh, please. 34. Thanks very much. Every right to go up and plead. Yes. What's that missing, sir?
What is that? That almost looked like the googly just slid across. No, count himself unlucky, Badri. First overdone, 3 for none.
Oh, terrific start. Ronke with a bit of good fortune. Rashid there. Dinesh Karthik, of course, left of screen. Wonderful IPL with the bat. 6 not outs for the Kolkata Knight Riders, 4 of those in winning chases.
Captain as well. It just struck me as a very good captain for the
Yeah, absolutely. Captain this man, didn't he? Ray Russell at the Kolkata Knight Riders. He very good job of it. Of course, taking over from Gautam Gambhir, who moved to Delhi and then decided to opt out.
Yeah, he had a bit of a shocker, Gambhir did.
Yeah, with the bat also. Not Gambhir the captain, just Gambhir the batsman. He had a great start to the tournament, so they opted out halfway through, but Ray Russell used to this role with the new ball. Get it through. Starts with a wide.
What pace was that? First up, we saw Mitch McClenaghan actually looked like he was just trotting in a bit, which you can understand. That's 89.4 straight away. Andre Russell looks like someone, a bit like Tamal Mills. He doesn't know any other way than bowling quick. There's a fella who used to play for England, you probably played against him, David Lawrence, who used to bowl as fast as he could, whether it was a charity game or anything.
Awful memories of David Lawrence at the Basin Reserve in Wellington with his knee. Yeah.
What, during the World Cup?
Yeah.
Both of them was carrying him off?
Yep. It was just prior to the World Cup, I think it was, at the Basin Reserve in a one-day game against New Zealand, and David Lawrence, and you could hear it around the Basin Reserve when he went in, the knee went completely from underneath him. It just, it was the most awful thing I think I'd seen on a cricket field. Fully
couple. Such a big man. He looked more like a heavyweight, didn't he, than a cricketer, than a fast bowler.
He bowled with good pace as well. That sort of slow run up and then really flew in. Not so much Dre Russ. He's just pure rhythm. I think I can call him Dre Russ. It's Andre Russell.
He's a genuine athlete, isn't he? Absolutely brilliant, Evan Lewis. Oh, backfield, you name it. He is an athlete, Evan Lewis.
Well, biggest share of the day with that bit of work. That was excellent fielding. That was hit hard. Gave himself a bit of room. Did everything right. Just didn't get it high enough. Pace of Russell. Toe of the bat. He really threw everything at that, but he didn't get it over Lewis. Like a goalkeeper, he plucks that out of the air. Well, you don't often see that in charity games, that is for sure. You don't see that in many internationals at the time. That is excellent. That foul goes 2-4 for 1.
All the fun you need this half term. All in Sky Cinema Animation.
Their first. Tommy McPhail gone. The English contingent, Sam Billings. To the crease, good strike rate, average. It was a report card for school, needs work.
Well, this doesn't need any work. Doesn't quite find the middle, and that's why, but it still went pretty hard. That is a brilliant piece of timing. The jump was perfect, he was going, didn't bust through his hands at all.
Just wonder if he got too far away from it, Tommy McPhail. He gave himself some room and he ended up too far away from it, couldn't find the middle of the bat.
That's the best thing to do as a bowler, though. As soon as you see the batsman go away or to the leg side, you throw it the opposite way he's moving.
Absolutely. Short, wraps him on the gloves. Oh, the last thing you need, isn't it? One of these games, you're captain of your county, jumped off the plane, went and played a game straight away. Sam Billings, I know it was rain affected, travelled last night, joined the team, plays today, travels first thing in the morning for a game tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Big game as well in the Royal London, 50-over competition here in England. It's a very short and sharp tournament, that. Can't afford too many slip-ups. Kent are on a bit of a roll. What you need, Andre Russell.
First year as captain as well, isn't it, Sam Billings? So when I talked to him in India about that, he was certainly looking forward to coming back and taking on that role.
Yeah, did it well in his first game. Kent had an easy win. Marshalled the troops. I think he's one of these captains who's going to come out with massive statements in interview. Already, he said it was the best fielding display he's ever seen. I mean, seriously.
Would have said it in a very posh accent, though. Oh, freebie. That's what it's all about. Finish the over on the boundary. 2 overs gone, 8 for 1.
Why would you bowl a full toss on leg stump, Bill? Why do you bowlers do it? There's no point to that. Too short and then a full pill.
No, I never bowl one. A few half bowlers made full tosses on me. Oh, it's his ego, like all that. You can have one. Lord, I wouldn't have bowled too many if I could bowl 145. Reading the form for tomorrow, is he at Exeter? What's he doing there, Nasser Hussain?
You can't have people's names there. Just know who it is.
Badri with a second. They're getting his first. Ronke just faced one delivery. Oh, what about this time? Is he going to make up for it? He is.
That one looked like it might have been a little more leg side, but still just clipping perhaps, and Ronke goes.
Yeah, should have had him the time before. There's absolutely no doubt. Just does him for length, does him for pace, skids on. You've got to be so careful playing Badri, playing across the line. He's always going to skip off the surface, even though it's a slow pitch. Ronke couldn't get to grips with him, and the 2 balls he faced, he goes for naught, 8 for 2.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't he, Samuel Badri? Wicket to wicket, we've talked about it. Skids it on, very hard to pull. Top of leg stump. Just got to look to play him straight.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't really turn the ball a lot, just the top spin that he gets all the time. So what you got in your book? What is it you're looking at?
I've got a Kent man, Rob. I've got Sam Bellingham. We've lost a couple of early wickets. Do you stop going hard or you keep going hard in this power play?
Well, you have to obviously assess conditions. Both new batsmen have only faced three balls, so matter of giving yourself a bit of time now. I think if you lose 3 early wickets in most 2020 games, I think it's 80% you lose. So matter of trying to just get a partnership together, run it around a bit, and give yourself a chance. Really.
You're a well-travelled man, aren't you? IPL, then you're playing the other day and you're playing tomorrow at Beckenham.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be fun, mate. It'll go well. Thanks.
Dinesh Karthik. Well, he has a real job to do, that is for sure. They need to start going, because the problem is it's a pretty decent pitch and they need to really get a move on.
Well, speaking of decent, one of the greatest of all time, come to join us in the pods. Sir Vivian Richards, evening to you, sir. How are you?
Hi, it's great to see you guys. And I can say, as a cricketer myself, and done a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. You guys been doing a great job, man, for the game itself and the excitement that you guys bring. Just giving it a little bit of life. I love it. I love it.
Well, it's great to have you with us, I tell you, and great for this match as well, I must say. Obviously, going to the hurricane victims that hit the Caribbean so hard, and great to see you here, obviously, supporting this cause as well.
Well, what I think is most important than anything else last night, that was the start. We had the dinner. We had a great night, and to the guys who would have stepped well enough to be here today, that's also important, to be out there doing their stuff, and the support. You look and see the crowd here tonight, and I'm just moved really, because I was at home at the same time when we had all this hurricane stuff and the winds and the rains, but it's nice to see just a huge response from the British public. I'm very pleased and excited about that.
Such a great affinity, haven't they? So many great West Indian players, not only yourself, but so many through a huge era have spent a lot of time in England, and some reside here now, played a lot of county cricket here, so there's a great affinity with the West Indies and England as well.
Yeah, this part of the world have been a great hub for us, as didn't quite like that shot there to all Simon.
Well, we've got another one. You've come in, you've taken a wicket. Very, very well done. There's a happy man alongside of Sir Richards.
Well done. It looks like I'm the 13th man here.
Absolutely. Skied in the air. Rob Key, and that is very comfortable.
Yeah, Badri's on fire. He's really on the charge. I just cannot get to grips with him. This is great. What would you do to him, Viv? How would you play?
Well, I'll tell you something. You hear people speak about maybe the T20 format and the damage and all that stuff that it's doing to the game. I think it's given cricket, in my opinion, a new lease of life. And let's not forget that, when I think I was playing at some point, especially the white gear and all that sort of stuff, the colored gear, and just the way in which you guys dress tonight as well, too, man, does suggest that we've come a long way.
You're loving it, aren't you? I tell you what, if your legs were a bit longer, you could borrow my jeans. I'll tell you later on.
No, man, it's just fabulous, the ladies themselves and, the clientele that they would have helped to bring to the game as well, It's just magnificent, As you know also, we'll be hosting the Ladies World Cup in November, and I'm quite certain I'll be seeing those wonderful girls behind here as well.
They'll be there. 3 islands, isn't it? Antigua and St. Lucia for the pool rounds, and then Guyana for the finals.
Looked like you enjoyed that wicket, Viv. Your reaction there that we just saw looked like you enjoyed that wicket.
Oh man, I'm still in the Windies corner. We've had some bad times lately. As I said at the dinner last night, one of my favorite individuals over the years would have been Muhammad Ali in terms of the mentoring sort of stuff, and the guy who you respect so much. That we'll be back. And he did use some words when he said, "I shall return." And I could only say that on the West Indies' behalf. They'll be back, so long as they get things right and the guys are prepared, knowing exactly where they're at now and what they got to do to get themselves back in the bigger picture.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that the T20s obviously grabbed the enthusiasm throughout the Caribbean as well. You know, 2 world championships now as far as the T20 is concerned. These guys, they love this game. I wouldn't say bred to play the game, but they're excitement machines. So many of these young guys coming through now. Oh, is this another one straight to Brathwaite? I think it is. Give you the good luck charm.
I'll tell you something. They've been here. Moody is the coach.
Oh, mentor. Good luck charm, you name it. Andre Russell into the deck. Billings just manages a top edge and
What can Tisara Pereira do? 73 matches, 959 runs. Well, rest of the world, dire trouble. 8 for 4. Andre Russell has just been too quick for Billings on this occasion. Late on that ball, high on the bat. Who can get some runs? We need some runs, Dawn.
They've got to find something, don't they? Malik Tisara Pereira, he's got power, we know that, but there's no time to consolidate in this sort of contest either, Viv. You've just got to keep going.
Oh man, what I think is also important, I guess maybe the rest of the world team must be sympathizers themselves, because they may be saying, okay, let us all sympathize with the causes. And because to be fair, that's a good shot. A little bit short outside off stump and paid the price. But it's just a great evening, and what I think is also important after last night, I think everyone was worried about the forecast and whether or not we're going to have such a wonderful evening. Well, it's lasted, and we're just happy for that the weather remains the way it is at present.
Viv, of all the batsmen in the world at the moment, who excites you the most?
Man, I love Virat Kohli. I'm not going to lie about that. I said that when I'm in India as well, and that also gives me a little bit of I do get around a lot of stuff over there as well. When you do say things like that, you don't have to buy dinner when the night comes.
You should not be buying dinner anywhere.
No, not at all, you know. It's I love Virat Kohli, and funny enough about the stuff that went down with Steve Smith. I love Smithy. It's a pity what took place there, but I've got a lot of respect for that individual, and I would say to people as well too that okay, boys will be boys, and let them pay the price for being boyish. And let's move on.
Yeah, well said. Very, very well said. 4 off the last ball of the over as well for Tisara Pereira. 4 gone, 16 for 4. He's got short of the length. Just give himself some room, Tisara Pereira. He's got big boy power.
You know that folks sometimes say about you should never ever say never. It's going to take something very special for the rest of the world to come back here tonight. And if I was going to have a little flutter or two, who you guys would think you would put my money on?
Tell you what, I wouldn't play you in golf for money, and I'm not going to take you on tonight either. Especially not in Antigua.
When that's one home course, it may not be the best course in the world, but I do know my way around that place.
You do know your way around. Don't worry about that.
balls miraculously coming out of trees.
Every now and again, you have guys in strategic positions, making sure that if you do hit it in the wrong place, that it comes back.
Well, Viv, I know you've come here and enjoy the night, support the cause as well, but a massive thank you to you for joining us here in the Sky Pod this evening, and enjoy the rest of the night, and I'm sure that everybody's grateful to see you here as well as support the cause. So thanks.
Well, I can only say this as well, too. I just love the work you guys are doing. You know, there are folks, you know, who say that this game have no place in our category or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, I'll tell you something. This does give cricket life, in my opinion, and the stuff that you guys are doing behind the scene as well, the ladies as well, it just brought a new sort of a life, new clientele to what this game is all about. And let's hope it gets better. Well done again, guys.
Thank you very much. Outstanding. Enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers.
What a voice. How good was that?
He does not look like he has aged at all. Brilliant. And great support too of the course. Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards. What a player.
His reaction as well, though, to the wickets. He was absolutely loving it. So passionate about West Indies cricket. Oh, why wouldn't you? In this format in particular, they are an excellent team.
Well, they've just embraced it, haven't they? And I think that it's the culture, it's the one time at the moment that the Windies, the West Indies seem to really gather round each other and embrace this format of the game. We've got some of the world's most expensive players when it comes to auctions or T20 competitions around the world. They're outstanding. Second down goes to Sara Pereira, not as quick as he once was. 5 gone, 19 for 4.
Now the power play so far has been dominated purely by the Windies. Talk about not losing wickets early, well, and trying to get as many as you can. Well, the ICC World 11 have done it all wrong at the moment. Billing's gone, Malik, 2 not out, Tammy McBell, he went early as well, Pereira and Malik have it all to do. Badri 2 for 4. Andre Russell's bowl with real pace as well. Electric to watch.
And they were good with the bat. 199 on what we all thought was a slightly sticky surface. They'd got a fair amount of water into it after the test match, which only lasted 3.5 days. Sorry, England. And Williams into the attack. You would have seen it. You would have seen the notebook.
Is this the fella? Yeah, the one who signs you out when you're out?
This is the notebook, man. You just want him. You want him to get a wicket.
See, that's because you're a bowler. He gives people a send-off, doesn't he? In the CPL, he gives you a send-off when he gets you out, and he signs you off into his imaginary book. And then there was a batsman who he got out in one of the first games, and then he smashed him in the next game. I don't think it was Evan Lewis. He then took him to the cleaners and smashed him everywhere. And every time he smashed him, he signed his bat. Every boundary.
I think it was Chadwick Walton.
It's on YouTube. I've seen the footage of it. You can just see him he smashes him for like 70 runs.
And in the end, the funny thing that Chadwick Walton actually did, he'd run out of room, according to his imaginary book, he'd run out of room on the front of his bat, turned his bat over and started signing the back of his bat as well.
Want to see him do it. You are right. Want to see if he's going to do it. He's got the front to do it in this game.
Timing off the back foot from Shoaib Malik.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Just all the time in the world, onto the back foot, punches it through the field, who is up because they're doing so well. And he sweepers out. Just places that. Everyone up in the circle on the offside, just third man back.
Of course, Shoaib Malik's wife will possibly be at Wimbledon in a few weeks' time. I guess that starts. It's she was the world's #1 ranked doubles player not so long ago, Sania Mirza.
Making me dive into my tennis knowledge, which is very poor. I can remember McEnroe.
You told me you were under 11 Kent champion.
I was. It's true. Lost to a bloke called Mike Wadder, who's a hacker. Just used to get it back all the time, and I'd made lots of mistakes.
Go for the glory shot.
Oh, I think I was in tears. Used to go for the big forehand. Couldn't hit a backhand to say. Used to slice backhand all the time. Funny sort of move, just hangs leg side, and it's just a fraction wide. It short sits up. Just watch how he sets up, just creates the room himself. It's a back foot, just in his setup. It just looks like he's set up for this shot. Doesn't matter, you can't bowl there. It's not the fielder's fault. Strange field. Deep backward point. Not often you see that. Well, yeah, that's better. Bring him round. Third man has come up, backward point, and then you have a deep cover.
Just moving away down the slope, holding its line perhaps.
That would have felt like it had gone a long way, because the angle that he's bowling round the wicket comes on. You think that's going to go to about middle and leg. That has gone a long way. That is a brilliant bit of bowling. Just far too good, really. Not many are going to hit that.
As well, they always seem to have an abundance of wicket keepers who bat and bat very well. Andre Fletcher's a genuine wicket keeper as well.
I tell you what, they have a lot of power as well, don't they? Sometimes you watch the IPL, there's a few teams that have a number 6 or 7 that might be able to clear the road for them, and then they run into the bowlers. Not so much the Windies, they have so much power.
Look at that. Hey, that's what 100 test matches earns you. Bat, don't field. I'll be fine, thanks, says Chris Gale. 6 overs have been bowled, 30 for 4.
Living the dream, Chris Gale has a bat, doesn't bother fielding. That's what we all want to do. Power play, well, it was all the Windies. That is an excellent catch from Evan Lewis off Andre Russell. Then Badri actually could have had Ronke. The very first ball that he bowled wasn't to be. Then he got it the second time in the LBW, then he did. Started for pace, simple catch. Sam Billings done for pace as well by Andre Russell. Do nothing but just a simple catch to Brathwaite. Then we had a little bit back on the World 11, the ICC World 11. Malik and Pereira have it all to do.
Rob Bailey, Alex Wharf.
Where's Rigsby now? Heard much from Rigsby in the last 6 or 7. Oh, there he is on the end of the boundary.
Is it almost at long stop? Isn't it? Just put your hand up. Are you at long stop or are you at really fine leg? Nas?
just saw him there in your picture.
He wants to be about 10 or 12 paces back, doesn't he? Sitting down where he belongs. Flash jacket on. Sitting on his own.
Now, who's been quicker, Jamal Mills or Andre Russell?
And it was a proper change-up in pace as well. Maybe people have just got used to him, and even just noticeably in that third over, they started teeing off against him, but I've not seen anything as quick as that. And the left arm angle, you know, I've not seen anything as quick as that for a long, long time.
Now, so I think at the right franchise, you've got to look at these guys that bowl with genuine gas. And they've got to go to the right franchises, don't they, where there's pace in the pitches as well. The slow-natured surfaces don't suit them.
Yeah, and also I guess, Dooley, you think about injuries as well. If you sign up someone for big money, you want them there all the time. And, you know, Tamal has a bit of a history of injury problems, and he has to be fully fit to bowl the pace he does.
We'd all get fit for $1 million, though. I've heard that Jamal Mills will not bat. So they have not allowed to use cover. It's a full 2020 international, so he's not going to bat. Only need to get 9 wickets. Skipper Shahid Afridi.
They asked Nasser, he's been out. Get Nasser to bat.
I'll pay money to see that, actually, and I'll take his mic. And then as we see a boundary 4, I think.